Darby sees the kind of late industrial, post-millennial kind of situation of Britain, with the crown is the head of the church, and nominalism, and then you have the inroads of higher criticism in the biblical studies. And I think it was Bonhoeffer who said, when religion becomes civil, it stops being either. And so Darby sees, this nominalism that is not what the New Testament or what the Bible describes as being a follower of Christ. And so, and you have the social upheaval that creates a lot of uncertainty, just like right now. People like, is the world? I remember the 70s, and people felt the same way then. What's going on? It's a little bit unnerving. And so he stiff arms the official church, eventually renounces his ordination, and he perceives in the Bible this dualism between earthliness and heavenliness, which sets him on this hermeneutical path to both make sure the church understands its otherworldliness and to rest upon the literal teaching of Scripture, because higher criticism, liberalism in general, is not taking the Bible seriously anymore. Now, James Inglis is sort of a go-between between Britain and the States, where he brings Darby's teaching to the States, but he's more appreciative of American denominational loyalties, and so he's wanting to distance what he's saying from Darby's sectarianism and schismatic kind of nature, but as we've been talking about earlier, particularly in the Northern Presbyterian Church, where the authority of the Scripture is declining and traditional theological views are declining, it's almost like a back to the Bible kind of movement.
And he started the prophecy movement, didn't he? Was he also involved in various publications and how he proliferated these ideas?
Yeah, so you have the beginning, and parachurch essentially, right?
I see.
And this would be a great kind of side lesson too, like letting the church teach us instead of taking the church's teaching under advisement and getting our theology from itinerant people who
yeah, there's a huge issue with the old school and new school and all that going on at the time.
Yeah. And that probably explains too, because Moody is not a Presbyterian. Moody is an Arminian, but he's continuing the new measures of Finney and revivalism, and finds the otherworldliness of dispensationalism a compelling system. And so that would explain how dispensationalism permeates the sort of the non-denom Bible church, independent church movement. But Inglis, who has St. Louis connections, there's a pastor in St. Louis named Brooks. There's a man who comes to faith and is attending that church in St. Louis named Schofield. And so you can see kind of the chain developing from Inglis, who's based, I guess, in southeastern Michigan, but has a St. Louis connection, and through Brooks and the Presbyterian Church there in St. Louis, a Northern Presbyterian. Interesting, St. Louis is the frontier between the Northern and the Southern Presbyterian Church, and while the Southern Presbyterians had great issue with dispensationalism, St. Louis is an interesting place because there's the two denominations are abutted against one another. Schofield is the popularizer, and I guess if there's one lesson we can take away from this, and it goes back to Finney as well. There are certain people who see the opportunity to popularize, and they know how to do it. They know how to get the goods to market, so to speak. The Prophecy Conference is one of those vehicles, and Schofield's study Bible, of course, is the flashpoint.